This is the single most outrageous thing to come out of Germany in a very long time. It looks like it's straight out of a Christopher Nolan film. This is BMW's vision of a sports car from the future. Powered by a precise combination of electricity and fossil fuel, this is the personification of a modern-day supercar. We're living in an age now where battery power matters a great deal to consumers. Just look at the high end of the race spectrum. We've got Formula E, then we've got your hypercars like the McLaren P1, the LaFerrari and the Porsche 911, all of which are embracing hybrid technology. And this is cutting-edge car tech at more than half the price. One of the coolest things is how much they have retained of that concept look and translated it into reality with a road production car. Very few manufacturers have been able to achieve that. It doesn't feel like anything we've ever seen or been in. It feels like we've teleported into the year 2050 into a whole other dimension. It has jaw-dropping looks and sets new standards for performance and efficiency. I'm not a huge fan of the back, but it does have insane tail lights and a low aggressive stance to compensate. At night, you can also configure your lighting console options to beam blue, orange or red, with light pipes all around the exterior and interior of the car, so it kind of looks like the party really is inside the car. It's not very elegant getting in, however, but you can overlook that for the cost of these mean-looking gull-wing doors. If the majority of your journeys are completed in the 22-mile electric range, then you can achieve a remarkable 135 mpg. Even so, you can also use the petrol engine and you'll still achieve 40 mpg, which is almost unheard of when you consider the amount of power available to you. We've also got 49 grams per km of CO2. That is a minute emissions contribution. In fact, I've contributed more to the atmosphere just by breathing than this car has by driving. I never thought I'd actually be the one to say this, but this car really makes you think about the joys that driving in silence can bring. The ability to leave your house early in the morning without waking anyone up, and then firing up the engine once you've hit the motorway is thoughtful. It has a combined output of 357 brake horsepower, and carbon fibre reinforced plastic which helps keep the weight extremely light with just 420 pounds of torque, achieving a top speed of 155 miles an hour. We can reach 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds. That's extremely impressive when you consider that this is a gas-electric hybrid powered by an electric motor underneath the front wheels, and a tiny 1.5 litre 3-cylinder twin-mounted engine mounted behind the rear seats, making it rear-wheel drive. A 3-cylinder sports car doesn't sound like the most thrilling prospect to drive. But I can assure you, once you actually get behind this thing, it feels every bit as quick as an R8. So let's go and create some rhythms with it. One of the first things you notice is the throaty engine sound. And we've heard that replicable speakers have been of the engine noise have been placed inside the interior cabin, and I'm not really sure how I feel about that. Driving it feels really solid. We've got really quick gear shift changes and a very low centre point of gravity. Driving it does feel like quite a social experience as well, with a lot of attention gained from surrounding pedestrians and cars. The steering is very light and very direct. Flick it into sports mode, put your foot down and you really feel the aggression coming through. Feels like it's got a great balance and it's got the perfect neutral to oversteer stance. However, when you push it harder, it does understeer a little, and that's a bit of a shame. However, it is seriously capable nonetheless. And when you put it into hybrid mode, it's so quiet in here, you can barely even hear the air conditioning, which is actually louder than the car itself. For a £100,000 sports car, the interior has everything you'd need and is just as stylish as its exterior. We've got BMW iDrive, an airy fresh interior, supportive seats, and a cool aggressive looking steering wheel. We've also got an 8.8-inch HD screen, and there's a speed count which meets the driver at his eye level and which no one else can see. I think that's quite a cool feature. The additional seats at the back, however, are incredibly cramped and should really just be used for additional storage space or for small kids. The boot space is also quite limited as we lost a bit of space putting in the electric motor. BMW has surprised everybody with this car. What could fool you as a prototype is actually a road-legal car available for you to buy today. There really is nothing like it on the roads at the moment, apart from its sister i3 of course. For £100,000, when you consider the amounts of radical technology in this car, then I'm still not sure if it's worth that amount, and I do think it's slightly overpriced for what it is. You know, especially with these fake engine noise sounds. There are no other cars in that price range that feel the need to do that. I feel like it's more your everyday drive for your environmentalist, as opposed to your high-spec performance supercar. This was one drive I'll never forget, and I hope Santa's watching because it is Christmas soon.